to Turkey. The place where Asia meets Europe. The place where football is like a religion. We just love the football and we love the colors.
This is all about emotions in Turkey.
They relive life through football.
More than 80 million people. Turkey's population is among the youngest in Europe. The country has big clubs and an amazing talent pool. Yet on the big stage, they haven't been successful lately.
Weil wir aufgehört haben zu arbeiten.
Every board member thinks that he's Florentino Perez and they are managing Real Madrid.
We are in Istanbul to dive into Turkey's vibrant football culture.
To meet past heroes and the new generation.
There's one question I can't get out of my head. Why is Turkey not a football powerhouse?
How many hours we have?
What holds them back? When can they finally catch up? Let's go find out, shall we?
Ankara might be Turkey's capital, but when it comes to football, Istanbul is the place to be. The clubs from Istanbul have dominated Turkish football for decades.
So this is as big as it gets in Turkish football. It's Fenerbahce against Galatasaray, the two biggest clubs in the country. Watch this.
In Erzincan, in Şanlıurfa, in Antalya, wherever you go, you can find a Galatasaray, a Fenerbahce and Beşiktaş fan. This is something cultural and it comes from your father, your uncle, your grandfather.
People feel powerful through the power of their teams. Hence, the big teams have a large number of fans.
Let's take a closer look. On the Asian side of Istanbul, you have Fenerbahce. Their fiercest rival Galatasaray on the European side. At Beşiktaş, also European, and you have the most famous Turkish clubs all in one city, the big three from Istanbul. They have the largest fan base in the country, but what's it like when the national team is in action?
Is it different support for the club and for the national team?
Of course, national team always comes first. Although I will die for my team, Fenerbahce, but it's national, it's your nation. I said before, we are quite like emotional people. Nation comes first.
Everybody, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Beşiktaş, we are all in one heart and we support our team, Turkey.
Türkiye, haydi bastır Türkiye'm, hakkım varsa helal olsun, haydi bastır beyaz.
If you look more closely as a journalist, they don't get enough support in normal games. On the cover, they support fiercely, but as a national team doesn't get the same support get Galatasaray, Fenerbahce or Beşiktaş. Yeah.
Only when they're really good at tournaments, right?
Yeah,
When they
yeah.
make it to, then
Yeah.
there's a hype going on.
When they became comeback kings at Euro 2008, the whole nation go crazy for them.
The comeback kings. Turkey have played at two tournaments where they showed what they can do. At Euro 2008, they made it to the semi-final in dramatic fashion, losing to Germany in the final four. A few years earlier at the 2002 World Cup, another semi-final defeat and a third-place finish. But the hype is over. Turkey haven't qualified for a World Cup since then, and only for one European Championship. In 2016, they crashed out in the group stages.
We're now on our way to the Turkish Football Federation and we want to meet one of the Turkish football legends. It's Hamit Altintop. Remember him? He played for Bayern, for Real Madrid, for Galatasaray, and now he's working at the Turkish Football Federation. So let's go in.
Findest du es okay, ja, das Foto? Bist du zufrieden?
Ja, nicht wirklich. Aber bin nie zufrieden.
Hamid is now in charge of the youth team setup in Turkish football. The right man in the right place?
Ich weiß, dass die Methode und die Ausbildung von Trainern in dem Bereich das Hauptthema eigentlich ist. Und darauf wollen wir uns fokussieren. Und ich glaube, dass ich meine Erfahrung mit der deutschen Mentalität und Arbeitseinstellung, das möchte ich einfach weitergeben.
The German mentality. He learned it from a young age. Hamid was born in Germany like many other famous Turkish players. Recruiting talents with Turkish roots that were born and raised in other European countries. It was the federation's strategy for years.
Das haben wir leider die letzten Jahre ein bisschen vernachlässigt. Da wollen wir wieder aber anknüpfen. Ich glaube, dass das unsere Jungs sind und da wollen wir davon auf jeden Fall profitieren und da wollen wir schon wieder eine Brücke aufbauen, wo wir dann halt dann besser miteinander kommunizieren.
Well, you can't only rely on talents from abroad. You also need to develop players yourself. How are Turkish clubs going about that? Are they doing enough? That's what we are here to find out at Beşiktaş, one of the big three in Istanbul.
We have around 120 football schools all around in Turkey, from the ages from 9 to 14 and with a population of 11,000 kids having training within Beşiktaş football schools. And I'm the director of this all program.
Okay, so you have to know all kids.
Oh, not almost, but
you should know the best ones.
Yes, for sure. From the football schools, we, thanks to our football school coaches, they advise us the best players, and we invite them for trial.
I talked to Hamid Altintop this morning. How do you make the most out of your talents?
Well, to educate the kids, you have to have the best coaches. Yeah. First, we have to have the best coaches, educated coaches, then they need to teach to the players.
But even with the best coaches, only a select few make it into the first team and into the Super League. It's especially hard for Turkish talents to break through. In fact, the Super League has the highest average player age in Europe's top leagues, almost 29, higher than La Liga, the Premier League and the Bundesliga.
They all want success in short terms. No one is looking for the young guys if they don't have to. If you look at the outranks, you will find much better players, but they always think we have to win this title this year.
The managements of the clubs must believe in these kids. The teams needs to give them the chance to play in the first 11.
When I went to Fenerbahçe youth system, you can see the Fenerbahçe stadium, and I said, wow, it's great now. You can see your stadium.
That's where I want to play.
You can dream from here.
Yeah.
And 15-year-old turned me like said, really, I'm not dreaming because I know they are not going to let me play there.
It's a recurring pattern. Talented players like Meri Demiral, Çağlar Söyüncü, Enis Ünal and also Cengiz Ünder, all of them left the country at a young age to make a name for themselves abroad. None of them played for the big three in the Super League.
Cengiz Ünder is probably the most exciting player in the Turkish national team. He plays for Roma in Italy and he is a star on social media, a true highlight reel hero.
Cengiz Ünder! What a start to the season for him!
Ich glaube, dass er enorm wichtig ist, mit seiner Kreativität, mit seiner Schnelligkeit, mit seinem linken Fuß. Er kann auch aus der Distanz ein Spiel entscheiden. Er ist auf jeden Fall schon ein Ass für uns.
When he was 20, after just one season at Başakşehir, Ünder left the Super League for Italy. Sometimes it's better for your career to get away from all the hype, the pressure and the media.
Because the Turkish sports media is terrible.
Yeah.
They'll exaggerate your success and they'll hit you and they'll criticize you harshly if you're unsuccessful. And that matters when you're 16, 17 years old.
Türkiye'de linç kültürü, hakarete varacak şekilde oluyor bazen. O yaralıyor.
Sayın seyirciler, Türk futbolu adam olmaz.
The media and the fans. Okay, like for example, when Fenerbahçe plays talented young kids, if they make a couple mistakes, they get booed by their own fans. And this has nothing to do with different clubs. This has to do with Turkish culture.
What is it in their culture? It's like too much passion.
Too much passion sometimes burns itself, you know?
Some say patriotism and passion can lead you all the way. Others say you have to keep a cool head. It's probably a bit of both. Politics aside, this Turkish team are exciting to watch. A golden generation in the making? Could they surprise us all again?
We are going to be the champions, you know?
We believe in our team. And we will be there to support our team.
There's a bunch of really talented young players that I can't wait for them to show what they can do in this such big platform.
Ich glaube, dass die nächsten 2-3 Jahre enorm wichtig sind. Unseren Weg dann halt dann auch beschleunigen, dass wir dann halt dann auch da sein können, wo die deutsche Mannschaft dann vielleicht ist, wo die Spanier dann halt dann auch sind.
So we spent a couple of days here in Istanbul and we had a great insight into Turkish football. Turkey is not a football powerhouse yet. There are many problems, but the potential is there, the hope for a new, successful generation. We'll be watching closely. İyi şanslar Türkiye.